In this video, I'm going to share with you what a SWOT analysis is in business strategy. Now, a SWOT analysis can help you very quickly get a good sense of what the market needs and wants and how you can serve better so you can make more money. So a SWOT analysis is something that they teach you in business school and Business 101, and it's basically a tool, a very simple tool to quickly get a sense of where your opportunities are and where you need to be careful. So I'm going to draw it out for you on my handy dandy whiteboard. And here it's just 4 quadrants. And over here is strengths, over here is weaknesses, down here is opportunities, and over here are threats. Now, you'll notice what I love about SWOT, S-W-O-T, is that it focuses on both your internal stuff. This is your internal, right? Your strengths and your weaknesses are internal to you and to your organization. And then over here is everything that's external. So it combines a focus on the internal and external and where they interact. So I'm going to use my business as an example because I know myself the best. And right here, I know that internally, my strengths are creativity, are performing, teaching, among others. But these are essentially the strengths that I have. Now, here's the cool thing. The strengths we're going to always use to mitigate and manage the weaknesses. So my weaknesses are organization and structure and timing. As someone who's often in such creator mode, I can really lose track of time and struggle in my organization to get things done by certain deadlines. And so I end up a lot of times pulling late nights and working at all hours. And this has gotten me in trouble if you've ever watched any of my videos. So notice, what can I do? How can these strengths mitigate these weaknesses? Well, because I'm a creator and a performer and I love to teach, I can use these skills to attract someone to my business who can come in and bring organization and structure and timing into the mix. And I probably, to be fair, wouldn't have to pay as much as a boring old company because I attract talent because people are interested in following and being a part of our mission. So this is part of this whole conversation about attracting people to you, which I talked about in an earlier video called How to Develop a Magnetic Personality. You may want to check that one out. So over here, what are the external opportunities in the market? Well, there's a big opportunity lately with technology, right? There are a lot of new platforms for someone like me, a small business owner, to have a much bigger impact. This is one example, this YouTube channel, right? This is an example of an external opportunity that I can hop onto and use to my advantage and to our advantage. Another opportunity is availability now of labor. And it's at a low cost, right? A little $1 sign instead of 2 or 3. In the past, as a small business owner, it was hard to find people to support and help that we could afford, right? 20, 30 years ago. But today, with the global labor market, with people working overseas and with platforms like Fiverr and Upwork, where you can tap into this overseas global labor market, now all of a sudden it's much easier to get support and help to do the kind of things that you need to do, right? So these are some externalities, and I feel like there's another opportunity that's more abstract opportunity, is that people are awakening. People are awakening to a desire to live a more fulfilled life, to contribute more to others. And that's something that really aligns with what I'm here to do and with what our company is here to do. There's an opportunity that people are awakening and they want more of this kind of content that we're talking about business strategy that's aligned with personal development. And then finally, what are the threats out in the market? Well, there are threats that are things like, for example, there's a lot of competition right now with all these platforms and technology and availability. Everybody can be a superstar. Everybody can be on YouTube. Everybody can offer coaching services. Everybody these days, it seems like, is providing some type of coaching. So there's a threat here of a lot of competition. And another threat in the market is an unstable, at least in perception, economy, right? There's a perception that the economy is volatile. After we went through this whole experience with the recession back in the late 2000 2010s, like 2008, 9, 10, 11, then there's a perception that there's instability in the market. People are fearful. And wherever there's fear, it's sometimes hard to get people to invest in awakening when they're worried about putting food on the table or saving up enough money in case the economy goes bad again. So that's another threat. So, what we look at is what are the opportunities that mitigate the threats? Well, the technology can help us mitigate this thing with competition. We can reach a much broader audience and we can find our people. Now, I personally have a belief, I don't believe in competition, or at least most of the time I don't. I've gotten to a place, and I encourage you to consider this, that there's an abundance of opportunity, that there's people for all of us out there, that everybody needs awakening. And so the market is huge for providing these types of services. And so I try to focus instead on my strengths, creating, performing, and teaching, and using those strengths to overcome, or work through these weaknesses. So this is how you do a SWOT analysis, and I find that it's a very powerful, enlightening exercise to go through. And I invite you, it takes like 5 minutes. That's what it took here. And I guarantee you that it'll bring at least 1 or 2 aha moments about ways that you're not leveraging your strengths and not capitalizing on opportunities, and ways that you can do both of those things in order to manage and overcome and mitigate your weaknesses. So I hope you got value out of that video. This is something that I paid a lot of money for to learn in my MBA, and I'm passing it along to you because it's a highly valuable tool that you can use anytime. If you want more tools like this and strategies and techniques, then click on the link below and download my free Monetize Your Magic Playbook, which will help you develop a more purpose-driven and lifestyle-friendly business. Enjoy.